Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dudes Review Podcast. Quick heads up, these first 3 episodes were recorded pretty far in advance. Far enough in advance that today we're talking about going to the beach, and it's the holiday season in December currently as this releases, so enjoy and keep that in mind. See ya.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
This is the Dudes Review. The Dudes Review. The podcast where anything and everything can be reviewed. With your host, Tyler and Drake.
It might be our first episode. It might not be our first episode.
It could be.
It could be the first, could be the third episode.
Well,
this episode might not ever come out. It's going to be in the vault forever.
oh no, we're going to lock it away like the Disney vault. Hey, you know what?
The Disney vault?
That's a good way to...
I think that's the way we started it.
Yeah, that's a good way to
This
start.
might not ever leave the Disney vault. We're going to sell it to Disney.
Hello, yeah, we just sold one episode.
We sold one episode to Disney.
One episode.
It's going to be on Disney Plus in like 20 years. No one's going to be like, who the fuck are these guys?
We could probably get 2 cents out of one podcast
Are we?
episode, maybe from Disney.
Do you think so? The one person that would watch it? Your mom?
Probably, yeah.
Your mom, and then be like, I remember when you were a baby.
Yeah. he had a
podcast when he was a baby. It's crazy.
Give him a little Baby's First Podcast.
Baby's First Podcast. Welcome to Baby's First Podcast.
All right. Well, the actual name of this is The Dudes Review. I want to give a shout out to Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
You remember Neil.
I remember Neil.
That was the
first time I ever met Neil, he was in a sling because he wrecked his sister's bike.
He's in that sling in our freshman yearbook picture.
Was that freshman year?
Yeah, freshman year.
I thought it was senior year.
No, I think it was freshman year. Yeah, you met Neil before.
I met Neil before senior. Yeah.
Well, you know what? This portion of the podcast is just for Neil.
We're just talking to you, Neil.
Thank you.
Everybody
Neil.
else, shut up.
He was the voiceover for our intro song for this podcast, The Dudes Review, and the name. I'm Drake.
I'm Tyler.
If you're listening to this episode, then you probably know us because this is the first episode. I don't know if you just stumbled upon this.
It's gonna be a big friends and family podcast.
Yeah, probably. But
to start,
for those who don't know, we've been best friends for God. How many years has it been? It was.
Is it 20 or going on 20?
Going on 20 years.
Yeah.
Middle, high school, college.
Yeah. Adulthood,
WWA, to this day. And we have come up with an idea for a podcast because, who better to tell you what's good and what's not
than Drake and Tyler.
Than just 2 straight white dudes underrepresented in the public forum when it comes to opinions, I think. And so we're hoping to come out however so often and just talk about reviewing different experiences or things we've been through. I know we've each got a list. So without further ado, let's go to our first topic. What are you talking about?
I'm going to talk about malls. I'm going to review malls.
Okay.
Do you want me to start on malls?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think about them? We can kind of ask each other questions about...
Well, back in the old day, malls were great.
Yeah.
And now they're shit.
That was a good year.
Malls are dead.
Yeah.
For the most part. Well, what had... Paducah Mall. We spent a lot of times in that mall.
Man, nearly every weekend we were in the mall in Paducah, and we would go to Hot Topic every time we were there, and I cannot break that habit. So
I still go in and break my neck.
Yeah.
Looking at the very top, I'm just like, oh, what's that shirt up there?
You can't make it between the aisles, and now I've got strollers with kids.
Yeah, you got kids and a whole family to bring through Hot Topic.
Yeah, and of course,
like a family version of Hot Topic that just widen the aisles out.
Yeah, that's the only difference. They don't change any of the content.
They don't change any of the content. It's all still all black.
Yeah, just wider aisles.
Still the same MTV 2008.
I'm looking
just wider
at
aisles for carts.
Yeah, I'm looking at a Stewie Griffin T-shirt in Hot Topic, the family edition though, so the aisles are wider.
You always look at the funny graphic T-shirts, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, and then you're not gonna buy it.
Yeah,
and you're just like, no one's gonna buy that, and then you see some kid at school, he's just got the same shirt on. You're just like, oh, it is kind of a cool shirt, but I don't want to wear it.
What'd you think about Spencer's? That's still open.
Spencer's is open. Listen, Spencer's, you can get in some trouble in Spencer's.
Spencer's is.
You can walk away with a cool band tee and a mug that has boobies on it.
Yeah.
in one shopping trip, you get tits and shirts.
Wow, this place has everything. So the very front of it makes you think that it's a Hot Topic
Yeah, it's just
type
like a
thing.
knocked off Hot Topic almost.
But man, the deeper and deeper you get into that story, you're just like, hey, there's dildos.
There's
and,
all
there's
there's all sorts of toys.
They're hiding stuff back there.
I would always go in and I would purposely like try to bypass all like the sex toys. I'm like, I'm not looking at those. I'm looking at these posters.
Oh yeah, you got
I'm
your
looking at
hands
these
over your eyes.
I'm just looking at these psychedelic posters over here. These
looking
are pretty
between the
trippy.
fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not here to look at that poster with the two girls kissing. I want to look
Yeah,
at
I don't want to look at that. Not me in 10th grade.
I'm here to get a T-shirt with Jason.
With Jason
on it.
Voorhees on it. With a studded belt.
Let me tell you, now that I'm going to say this a lot in this podcast as a father, because I know
yeah.
people who
See, you're
people
very,
love when they say
you're
that.
relatable.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm uncle.
People love when people say that. When you say as a father,
Oh,
they
ears-
will sit down and listen attentively. As soon as
Ears,
you
ears
say
are perking up everywhere over here. All three of you.
They'll sit down crisscross applesauce. and
Apples-
just, oh yeah, that's
Cracking knees.
But as a father, the mall, a lot of fun. Because I don't know if you grow out of the mall. I mean, as an adult, you start going more to like grocery stores and stuff, obviously.
Well, I feel like
and-
as an adult, you're going more for a purpose to the mall.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
opposed to like as a teen, I'm just going there to hang out and walk around
Right.
and see who else is there.
Can I tell you something real sad?
Sure, I'd love it.
So,
Let's sadden this shit up, brother.
so I went to when I went to college. Whenever my roommate, who had gotten a job slightly before me, but then I ended up working with him. I just didn't have anything going on the weekends, and so I would just go walk the mall, and the only other person I knew in town was working. So like, and this was before like I started listening to podcasts or like I didn't have headphones or anything. So I'm
just
like
listen
this,
to ambient mall noise.
this grown man strolling the mall for about an hour.
Just by yourself.
Not doing anything because also I'm broke. Like,
Was it the mall that had the? Some of them have the mile markers.
oh, I don't know.
Have you seen those?
Yeah, so there's one in Evansville.
Yeah, they got like it's like, oh, you're a quarter mile around the mall.
Yep.
2 more laps and you hit a full mile.
I went to the mall like right when it opened one day, trying to get something in Evansville, and I didn't realize that the mall opens an hour before the stores in the mall open.
Yeah.
So they had the old person walking team, and they were, it's just like not like a class, but like a fitness group of old people.
It's just a bunch of old people, like the nursing home dropped them off.
Right? Yeah.
And they have all their like matching track shoots with their cool nicknames on it.
That's what it was, is tracksuits, and I cannot remember this old lady's name, but since I was there killing time, I just decided, well, I'll
You
walk.
could
too.
walk with them?
So I walked with them, and this lady listened to me, and I told her my whole story about just recently moving to Evansville, and she talked about herself. She had like 2 grandkids that she was in love with. One of them was
She's in love with her grandkids.
well,
like,
you know what I mean.
easy.
But like one of them was going into high school to be a baseball player, and every once in a while I think about that woman, and I'm like, I wonder how she's doing.
You think she's still alive somewhere, or you think she croaked?
She's probably dead.
You think she's dead?
There's a 90%.
Do you think it's
chance
like?
she's
Do you think at the mall with the walking team? Do you think like when people will like have car accidents on sides of roads, they put the little crosses out there? You think there's a cross in the Evansville Mall somewhere that just says, "Here lies Ethel,
right?
crashed and burned."
She went down right in front of the Route 21.
Right at the Route 21. Put her. Oh, Bobby put her in the wall, man.
Someone tripped her up, and that's how
Tripped
she
her
went
up.
out. Oh man,
Her last sight was seeing the Sbarro.
man.
She wanted that last slice and she couldn't get it.
That's another thing about malls. There's the food court.
Oh, food court.
Now,
Great.
we haven't really established this, but we grew up in the Mayfield, Kentucky / Paducah, Kentucky area. If you don't know where that is, look it up. In the Paducah Mall, I don't remember there being a food court necessarily.
It was not really much of a court as like a hallway.
I haven't been in there.
It was like they had like a Chick-fil-A. That was the most popular thing, I think.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a Chinese place. And then like an Italian place that changed names every like 2 weeks.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I do remember. Okay, I remember the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, like that's pretty much like as far like I think they updated it
Yeah.
to be more of a court-esque food area. but I think that Chick-fil-A still stands.
I'll have to go back there at some point. Why would I go
Why
back
would you
there?
go back there?
I'm going to... What am I going to do?
Where are we going to reminisce?
Walk into the Paducah Mall and go, and leave.
That's it.
Oh, neat.
Like, okay, that was cool. It still smells like shit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The other day, I was just in there with my daughter with we went to the candy store.
Oh, candy craze?
Yeah, where you can fill up
Yeah, you
bags.
fill a bag up and they charge you by the pound?
Oh, my goodness. We got a quarter pound. Oh, my $12.
That doesn't seem too bad.
For a quarter pound?
I mean...
4 of those is a pound. A pound of candy would be, what's 12 times 4? Hang on.
You're the math one here.
$48 for a pound of candy?
All right. Well, what'd she get, though?
It was just a bunch of different gummies.
Oh.
You know, a bunch of
not even
gummies.
fun gummies?
I mean, there was like gummy worms and gummy frogs and gummy other animals.
Gummy sharks?
Gummy sharks.
What kind of all gummies are they?
Gummy mammoths.
They have gummy mammoths? They got gummy transformers?
Gummy.
I was eating on this gummy Corvette the other day. I only got to the windshield and had to stop. I was full.
It was full size.
Full
It cost
size.
$2 million.
Just going down a hot road, just melting. You ever leave gummies in the windshield on a hot day?
Yeah,
And just melts all over your car?
I've left them in the cup holder before.
Ooh.
And they melt in the bag. And I was like, oh, I'll just eat a handful of just like this gummy slime.
Ew.
It's awful. It like congeals your throat.
At that point, you should have just cut the tip of the bag off like an icing bag.
Ooh, just suck it out.
Just suck the bag.
That would have been pretty cool.
Suck that bag. Suck that bag. Suck that bag. Nobody starts chanting that. You're just chanting to yourself in your car.
To myself.
Some guy walks.
Suck that bag. Suck that
Some
bag.
officer walks up. Excuse me, sir. You got to leave.
Yeah.
You're too close to this elementary school. Sorry, I'm picking up my daughter.
Sorry. So speaking of candy craze, me and you and another guy, I want to say his name was
He's never listened to this. Go ahead, name him.
Okay, cool. I
don't know
was
if he's
gonna bleep
alive
that.
anymore.
I don't know.
I don't think he's alive.
But
He might
we went to the mall and we were in Candy Craze and we were talking about getting some candy. And I mindlessly, for some reason, just opened the Spree container.
This
and-
wasn't this. Are you talking about when I dropped him?
No.
Oh, different Spree story.
Different Spree
We'll
story.
get to the other Spree story. Continue.
Yeah, no, that's another podcast. The Spree story.
Two other people tell that story.
Yeah, the Spree story is our spin-off podcast.
Stay tuned.
No, I opened the Sprees and ate one without even thinking about it.
Oh.
And then you guys were like, whoa. And then
You
I was
just
like,
eat those?
oh shit, I just shoplifted.
Yeah.
And I mean, the rest of the time we were at the mall, I was looking over my shoulder and like,
You think like Paul Blart's gonna tackle you for eating a Spree? He's on a
SWAT team's
Segway
gonna
and just
kick in the door.
just bust your ass.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got it's the new Bin Laden.
We got his ass.
We got him, Matt.
Oh man, no, but I remember eating that and I looked over because as soon as I did it and you guys were like, oh, I was like, oh no, and I couldn't
I'm
like
in
spit
trouble.
out the Spree back into the
Just bleh.
yeah.
Ma'am, I'm putting this back. I'm putting this one back. I didn't steal it. I didn't know.
I remember looking at the guy working there. It had to have been like like a 15-year-old.
Oh, that dude didn't care. He was
Yeah.
stealing candy all the time.
But I was like, oh, that guy, he can't see me. So I'm like ducking behind, just making myself look
You're
worse.
ducking behind the clear containers full of
you
candy.
know. And growing up religious, I'm going to church that Sunday saying like repenting for my sins of eating a Spree.
Dear Lord, I stole the Spree.
I've gone to the altar call because I ate a Spree at the mall.
You're bawling your eyes out.
You're just crying. I too have sinned.
I too have sinned. I cast the first stone. I ate the Spree.
There are people at the altar with like legitimate problems.
Yeah,
Like,
people
me too,
are over
brother.
here like on meth and shit. And you're just like, I ate a Spree, brother. I get it. I get it.
understand.
Me too. Me too.
Oh man! So is there anything else? I know at the Evansville Mall there is a merry-go-round, which is a lot of fun.
The Evansville Mall is not bad.
Yeah.
Like it's probably I said all malls are dead. They're not all dead, but some of the Paducah Mall is probably pretty close to dying.
How about that Owensboro Mall?
You're dead.
Yeah.
Beyond dead.
And listen, if you're not
Spirit Halloween won't even go in there. It's so dead.
if you're not from this area when you're listening to this, just think about small towns in your area and think about your malls, unless you live in a New York or like a Minnesota.
Support local malls.
Yeah. Well,
That's what this whole podcast is about.
there is a dead mall in Evansville called Washington Square Mall.
Is
That
it fully
is-
closed?
No, it has-
Well, it's got a pulse.
It has one antique store.
Okay.
It has a Goodwill office, and it has a couple doctor's offices.
So a Goodwill office, but not a Goodwill.
I don't think there's a Goodwill in
So
there.
you can't donate to that office?
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't been over there.
Did Goodwill donate all their offices?
No, no.
So they have to rent out a whole other office space?
They're like, we don't have any furniture. We sold it all for
sold all-
$2 a piece.
Sold all our counters?
But there's a food court, and there's a Noble Romans open in it.
What's Noble Roman?
It's just a little pizza place.
Oh.
And a friend of mine just had their birthday there in that dead mall.
An adult?
And they were like, yeah. And he was like,
I-
dude, let's go eat at Noble Romans. And it was one of the coolest things.
Was it really?
It was a great time, great food. You're in this dead food court that's still decorated from the 90s. There's neon lights everywhere.
You expect like the Power Rangers to pop in?
That's exactly what it looks like, the old juice bar.
Yeah.
But the public library was having a giant book sale through the halls there, so there were a lot of people there
like
just buying.
Scholastic Book Fair in the mall.
Yeah, but for adults, which is kind of cool.
Do they sell adult books?
Yeah,
Bunch of smut.
I mean not just that. I mean they
Ringing
had,
a bell. Get your smut.
get
your smut books.
By adult books, I mean like books with no pictures.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, the worst type of adult books. I'm looking up world's largest malls.
Well, it's got to be the Minnesota Mall of America.
This
in
is
the U.S. maybe.
I was
going
gonna
to
say this is the largest mall.
Wait, let me guess where it could be.
Okay.
Does it say where it's at? Obviously, you're looking at it.
Yes.
Um.
If you get none of the top 5 are in America.
Oh,
So if you can name one of the countries that these malls are in,
I want to say China, probably.
no,
No.
nope,
France.
no.
France doesn't have a big mall.
It's not in the top 5.
Oh,
Step your game up, France.
that's why you suck.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the Mall of America in the United States in Minnesota
Yeah.
is number 12.
Oh, who's got a big Australia? Do they have a big mall?
Nope.
Dang,
All right.
I'm really swinging and missing on these. Fucking tell me.
Number 1, Iran Mall.
Where'd you run to?
It's the largest mall. Yeah.
I ran to the mall.
Hey, at over 2,500 shops, you have to run to get through
Oh
it.
my god, 2,500 shops. That's like every store ever.
It says 2,500.
Now, do you think they're
plus
all
shops.
just like one place closed? They got like 20 GameStops in there.
Oh yeah, they've got a GameStop, they've got an EB Games.
EB Games.
They're all right beside each
I
other.
always loved it whenever I went in the mall and there was GameStop and then EB Games and then
Yeah.
EB Games closed, so then the mall just has 2 GameStops.
Yeah, that was crazy when
And then
GameStop
it'd be
bought
like,
it.
hey, do you guys have this game? Be like, oh, we'll call down the mall and see if they got it over there. We'll hold it for you. Just run.
But yeah, it went from Iran. Number 2 is Kuwait.
Dang.
3 is Malaysia. 4 is Iran again. And
what?
5 is China.
Oh,
you were right.
All right, yeah, suck it.
It says until at least 2014, most of the stores were empty.
Oh,
The occupancy rate was only 10%. Does that count
I don't.
if it's not populated?
Yeah, what are we counting here? Like, is it still running and active, or just the size, like the square footage of the mall?
Right.
Because
like,
that could play a lot of it.
yeah, I mean, imagine saying you had the largest amusement park, but there's just like one
One
roller coaster
ride.
in the middle.
He's just got a full country just for one ride.
Yeah, the rest of it's just
It's not
like
even a cool ride either. It's
drink
just fucking
machines.
swings.
It's a log flume.
a log flume.
Actually, I love log flumes, but that's another episode.
It's just
Yeah, just splashing
there's
down.
one guy.
Do you have anything else to say about malls?
I hope they don't die. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of online shopping. Now, here's where I sound really old.
Yeah.
We're both about to be 32.
Yes.
We are now double the age of when we got our driver's license.
All right. Well,
That's
that's
sad to say.
really,
Let's
really
bring this
depressing.
down a
I
little
just
bit.
threw my phone.
I'm done.
I'm like, fuck this, dude.
But I mean, I hope malls are good social experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for a youth experience, like if there was no mall around us at all, I feel like I'd be way less like cultured.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of, a lot of learning, a lot of hanging out growing up in different social circles, everyone meeting up at the mall.
Oh yeah, it's always a great time. Black Friday at the mall.
Oh man, Black Friday at the mall.
Black
was
Friday
always,
now ain't shit.
Yeah, Black Friday is always fun. Even going in stores you wouldn't normally go in. You ever like take a flashlight into Hollister?
Where am I at?
They're like smoke grenading you out in Hollister. You're getting napalmed out the front.
Napalm. Thanks for my $40 polo.
Yeah, there's a shirtless dude named Chad asking if you want a t-shirt or something.
Like, where's your shirt?
Yeah, actually, you need one, man.
Go put a shirt on, Chad. No one wants to see that.
I'm with you. I think malls could be better, but who am I to say? I don't run a mall. I don't know the mall's finances.
Maybe we should start a mall.
Oh, man.
Let's forget this podcast and open up a mall.
We should rent out a storefront of a mall.
Like in the Dead Mall in Evansville?
Yeah, why not?
Just to hang out?
Yeah, just
we
hanging
don't
out.
We don't even record or anything like that.
We'll do this podcast from
at the mall. It's just us and this one microphone.
Yeah, and a table. People can come in and out as they want.
This basement studio over here.
Yeah, as they start walking malls. Yeah, that's something we haven't talked about.
Bring them back to life.
We're in my basement, which I've tricked out.
I mean, you've done a lot to this
well.
basement. Like mainly painted the ceiling black, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I call it the fortress of solid dudes because if you're allowed down here, you're a solid dude.
You're only solid. Only dudes that are solid are around down here.
All right, well.
No soft dudes.
No soft
dudes.
That's our podcast.
That's our slogan.
No soft dudes allowed.
Dudes.
You better be hard as hell when you turn this thing on.
If you turn this on and you're not hard, turn it off.
Turn it on and rip the knob off.
Crank the knob.
Back to malls.
Oh yeah, sorry. The topic.
All right, so with everything that we review, I want us to each rate it out of 10. And so we'll give it a full score out of 20. If anything ever gets a perfect 20, I would consider it a Hall of Fame.
We have a Hall of Fame?
We'll start one. I'll start a spreadsheet.
We'll start a spreadsheet?
Yeah.
All right.
So I am going to give malls in their current state a 6 out of 10.
All right. So my topic, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to, 6 out of 10 is fair.
No.
I think I can agree with 6 out of 10.
No.
All right, so we hit a 12 out of 20.
12 out of 20, which is
not Hall of Fame worthy.
Not bad. A little over half.
But for the first one, kind of could be Hall of Fame worthy.
Could be. Yeah, just for that.
It's a potential.
Yeah, just for that.
It's a potential until we get to whatever topic you have.
I want to talk about the beach.
Ooh, beach, please.
I guess I don't want to go over a specific beach because you and we have been to...
It's a very broad...
Yeah, any beach.
Any beach could work. Like some shitty beaches, some great beaches.
Yeah, because it's always a big vacation destination. You know, you always hear the stereotypical, wine mom, I got to get to the beach.
I got to get to the beach.
Beach is calling my name.
I get the sand on my toes.
And I'd like to know the opinion of someone who lives near a beach, who just has access to it all the time, whether it loses its specialty.
So if this reaches out far enough to where you're by a beach,
yeah,
let us know.
Let us know
what your review of your home is.
How do you live? How do you rate where you live? But it's very topical because, spoiler alert, as we're recording this,
that's a spoiler sound.
Oh, okay. I'll figure out a spoiler sound and I'll insert it right here. We don't know what that sound was.
We don't know what it was.
But I'm
could be
sure
a big old fart.
It could be.
Honestly, make it a fart.
Okay, I'm gonna make it a fart.
Farts are funny, people.
So that's our spoiler alert sound.
Publicize farts being funny.
So I just went to the beach. Yeah. I was at Orange Beach, Alabama, I believe, down in the Gulf. And I've got a lot to say about the beach, but you were just on some beaches as well.
I was.
Where'd you
I
go?
went on a cruise to Cozumel, Mexico, and the Grand Cayman Islands.
Oh, man.
2 beaches.
When you first said that to me...
I got you beat.
I thought you said Grand Canyon Islands when you were first telling me about this cruise. And I was like, what the fuck?
It was a Grand Canyon. Just out in the middle of the Grand Canyon, there's a little spot.
Yeah, how are they going to get the ship out there? That's crazy.
They tied a bunch of balloons like it's up. Just floated out there.
So, like I said, a lot of people like the beach. I'm going to straight up say it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beaches are great.
They can look fantastic.
Just you're never ready for that much amount of water. You look at it and you're like, damn.
Damn, that's wet.
There's wow,
There's a lot of wet out there.
It do be wet out there. That's all I'm saying.
Beaches be wet, man. Beaches be wet.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says
It's our second slogan.
Yeah.
Beaches be wet.
just the traveler's T-shirt that just says like Myrtle Beach. It do be wet.
It do be wet.
You know, it's a very relaxed atmosphere. I don't know if the things I dislike about the beach outweigh it. Because I found myself every day dreading actually getting down to the beach because I hate sand so much.
Sand sucks.
Oh my God.
The beach part of the sandy part of the beach, get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice because it's part of the beach. It's
Yeah.
the aesthetic of the beach.
There's an old Rocket Power video game where the Rocket Power gang heads to the beach to do some surfing and stuff like that, you know, extreme sports and the like. And they get there and the beach has been stolen.
They stole the beach?
They someone sucked up all the sand. And I was like, wow, that sounds ideal. But then you look out there, it's just a bunch of jagged rocks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, that's worse.
So under the sand, probably not great.
No.
And
And
then honestly, if you just had a concrete beach, you might as well just go to a park.
yeah, just go to a water park, which is another episode. I do love some water parks.
Different episode.
But not only is there sand, there's a lot of hazards. Like, not every beach, but for example, we went to this
landmine
beach.
hazards?
Yeah, there's landmines everywhere.
Back in Normandy.
It's insane.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember the beaches of Normandy?
That was
You remember storm in Normandy with me?
That was the beach I was at.
We were at that beach.
I stormed Normandy last week. I was late.
That's why you didn't text me back. I'm just like, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? And you're just like, hang on.
Hang on, I'm
I'm in the trenches.
storming Normandy.
Storming
right now.
Normandy right now.
Okay, here's an example. We go to the beach. I've got my daughter with me. There's this other guy there. He's got his daughter with her. Our daughters are best friends.
Yes.
We're going out into the ocean to let them wade around a little. You know, they got their like floaties on.
Yeah.
We're gonna be with them and everything. For some reason, our daughters are wanting the opposite dads. So
Okay.
he's carrying my daughter, I'm carrying his, and they're going out into the ocean first. And all of a sudden, he turns around and says, "Hey, go back." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. What's going on?" And he had been stung by a jellyfish.
Ooh.
And my daughter
Okay.
had the jelly on her leg as well. So, I mean, it kind of itched her, but it wasn't
Not that
a full
bad.
sting. But he had been full stung. And I'm following him around the beach saying, "Hey, you know, you got to let me pee on you now."
Come here.
That's the thing.
Just walking around, just, hey,
Yeah.
stop.
Listen, our friendship is about to reach a whole new level, and I do really have to pee.
I said, you've never peed on me.
Yeah, right.
What does that say?
How long have
Why
we
am
been
I here
best
on this
friends?
podcast? You tried to be on him.
Never peed on you once. I haven't been in that situation, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's that jellyfish. Over the course of the next 2 days,
Also, I gotta ask.
Go ahead.
Did he like react to this thing?
He
was
said-
it like a, oh God, I got stung, or
It-
just casual? Hey, we can't be here.
it was like a, let's turn around.
Oh,
Like,
so he kind of like manned up on it.
yeah, he did.
Like
so
he acted. He bit the nail on it.
he probably would have beat that jellyfish's ass.
You think so?
I think so.
He would have stomped it out.
But you know how when you get hit with a sharp pain and it's past the point of reacting to it, you're just
And
like,
you just got to grunt and just,
oh shit,
oh fuck, that hurt.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what happened because
Okay.
when he got my daughter back to the beach, he knelt down
Oh.
and was like, "Oh."
So in the water he was tough, but outside the water he was just
right? And then you can get salt water on it. But over the next day, there were hundreds of jellyfish just washing up on the shore,
Like,
and there was this big white dude in a bucket hat just standing at the shore, going, "There's one, there's one." There's one.
the fish
There's
jellyfish
one.
counter
Yeah, I guess
of Alabama.
That's his.
Yeah, he's seen a signal in the sky.
We're like, is that the jellyfish counter? And they're like, no, it's Rain Man.
It's Rain Man.
So we had the jellyfish issue. So we're not letting the girls get in the water in the ocean, at least not too deep.
Yeah.
Which we had a pool at the hotel, whatever. And then me and my wife are down there one day, and we see what kind of looks like an oil spill just
Okay.
flowing through the water. And she goes down to the water and looks in and comes back, and she goes, "Oh, That's like literally thousands of minnows moving in a black cloud.
What?
I mean, it
Is it like
legit looked like an oil spill, and it's minnows.
like the nematodes in SpongeBob?
Oh yeah, kind of like that.
Schooled up.
Yeah, and then there's a shit ton of seagulls just coming down and swooping and picking them out
some minnows?
right by where we're hanging out.
Oh my god!
And they're taking some of my daughter's snack. I mean,
It sounds like you went to like the beach was at like a Disney villain's lair.
yeah,
Jellyfish, seagulls swooping for snacks, minnows,
a big pirate
a
ship.
big pirate ship.
Which I'm not gonna lie, we did see
Menacing.
the pirate ship every morning. There was a pirate ship. I don't know if it's some sort of gimmick they've got around there or something.
Somebody just drives a pirate ship across the ocean.
Every morning at about 11 a.m. So
He's,
noon.
like on the dot.
Yeah, it comes by. It's got the sound of a cannon, but it doesn't actually fire anything. It's just going.
So
when you hear it,
fired something.
yeah. So when you hear
It's your
it,
wake up call.
big bowling ball just launches into the hotel.
Time to wake up.
There was another. Oh, my wife goes out there and starts grabbing shells and having some fun in the ocean.
Yeah.
And she looks down and there's a couple stingrays
Oh my god.
just swimming around her. And that's what took Steve Irwin out.
Oh yeah. You can't,
And if it could take him out, it could take my wife out.
You think so?
She doesn't know anything about animals.
You don't think she's tougher than Steve Irwin?
She's not Australian.
Oh, that's what. If she was Australian, it'd be a whole different story. If she was like, "Oh, crikey, Drake, I'm Australian now. I'm gonna beat this stingray's ass."
I'll tell you, if I was out there with those stingrays, though,
Yeah,
guy like me, not letting them escape.
a guy like you.
Yeah.
You're gonna rip him in half.
I am against him. I'm gonna pick
You're
him up.
gonna like Macho Man elbow drop the stingray.
You know how in the 90s, part of strongman competitions was they would just wrench down and rip phone books in
Rip
half?
the logs in half.
I would do that with a
With
stingray,
stingray?
just do it halfway to one of them where it doesn't die, but it's very injured.
So it can be like, "Hey, don't fuck with this."
Yeah,
guy.
so the rest of the stingrays can see it, and they're like, "We're not fucking with."
Do you think that would
Steve
happen, or
Irwin."
you think the other stingrays would gang up on you?
I don't know.
How many stingrays you ripping in half? Like legit. If you had to fight a school of stingrays, how many before you just gonna say, "I'm done"?
4.
4 stingrays.
I think 4.
You got enough upper body strength for 4 stingrays?
I don't know that I have enough upper body strength.
But I mean, the ripping doesn't clearly have to be only arms. You can like stomp and pull.
Yeah. I also
Sorry, PETA.
I also recently just like did hair removal cream all over my body, so I'll be more aerodynamic.
What?
I'm like a dolphin in the water,
Just
so, like,
gliding.
I'm just gliding.
They can't sting you because you got no hair on your
Yeah,
legs.
exactly.
That's
There's
what
no traction.
That's Steve's problem was he had hairy legs.
I'm just swooping around in there. Everyone's impressed. Lifeguards can't even catch me. I feel like I'm greased up. Anyone tries to bear hug me, I'm just sliding out the top.
He's one with the ocean now. You just straight diddied that thing.
Oh man,
You straight.
that's what you give me a portion of those 1,000 bottles of lube. I can
invincible.
I can escape anything in the ocean.
I'm robbing banks with that.
A shark tries to bite me, I'm just sliding
Right out the teeth,
I'm
man.
sliding out. Have you ever tried? It's
You ever
like
tried to eat asparagus and it just like
Yeah.
strings apart and just slides right out of your mouth?
that's me, the asparagus of the ocean. That's what they used to call me.
That's what they called you in school. I remember that now. They'd be like, "Is Drake here?" Be like, "Excuse me, I'm
Yeah.
actually asparagus of the ocean."
Asparagus of the ocean.
It's
They're like,
actually on my birth certificate.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The oceans of Graves County, Kentucky. You've been able to show that off very well.
Walking down the halls and people would be like, "Oh, asparagus of the ocean, what's up?" I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" They're like, "That's me. That's my name now. Sorry."
And then apparently one of the guys with us saw a shark at one
Oh.
point.
Did he-
And a couple other people on the beach were also like, "Hey, there's a shark."
very casual, like, "Oh, cool," like an Italian guy walking by, like, "Hey, yo, there's a shark over there.
Hey, I'm swimming here.
I'm swimming here. Look out."
But I will say, even with all of those existential threats and stuff, no one's having a bad time at the beach.
You don't think like
Not even, you can be mildly annoyed.
okay?
No one's out there blowing a gasket just thinking they're having the worst time ever.
Because they're at the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
And then,
It's
like,
a mood
that-
enhancer.
Okay.
I was walking across the bridge with my son, who has like cute little bucket hat on because
Yeah.
babies in bucket hats are cute.
Adorable. Not adults in bucket hats.
No,
Unless they're old.
yeah,
Old people in bucket hats. There's a very big age gap to where you can wear a bucket hat and it'd be adorable.
It's a graph. And like it looks okay at the beginning of life, and then the bottom drops out, and then it looks okay again at the end of life.
You can be born with a bucket hat and die with a bucket hat.
But the wind picks up and catches his bucket hat and blows it off the bridge.
Oh no.
And the hat falls into a thorn bush.
Oh.
And I cannot reach it. And I'm like, well, there goes
you,
that bucket.
Mission Impossible, your sundown.
Well, no.
Grab the bucket hat on a string. Just
Here's what happened. I take him down to his mom down at the beach. I go into the hotel room to, grab a drink or whatever. I come back and there's a dude on that bridge washing off his fishing poles.
Oh.
And I said, hey, brother, this is going to be a weird request. Can you cast off the side of this bridge into the thorn bush and hook my son's bucket hat?
Oh, my God.
And reel it in. And he was like, you know what? I think I can. And whenever he started talking about another guy that didn't know either of us, we're like, let's go.
Let's do it.
And I mean, he cast it perfectly into the bushes. It hooks that hat, pulls it up, and it's guys being dudes. We're all high-fiving. Yeah! He caught it! Woo!
My son's head is going to be protected from the sun. Let's go.
My son's scalp was burning. He'll be so happy.
You see that sizzling? That's not bacon. That's my son's scalp.
The dude did look at me and he's like, this isn't the first time I've done this week.
Oh my God. So he was ready for it.
Yeah. And he was like, my wife's flip-flop fell off like 3 days ago and landed in a thorn bush. And I was like, wow, that's insane.
Honestly, he could probably start charging people.
Probably.
And honestly, if he just gets the right amount of wind, he can gimmick that out. And he can make bank, brother.
If he just
fucking bank.
Yeah, if he just camped out.
He's just like, oh, you need somebody to get that? It'd be $15.
But as far as, the beach sucks when it rains. But even then, it's neat to go out and look at it.
You can watch it rain on the beach and still be like, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Even away from the beach, like our hotel room faced the beach, and so we could just open the doors.
Oh yeah, that's just like basically being at the beach.
Now, how is it?
You get the smell of the beach.
Because I went to Alabama for the beach. Okay, that was if America needed an enema, they'd put the hose in Alabama. The first time I ever saw the ocean was on my honeymoon, which was in Mexico.
Yeah.
This
is the first time you've seen the ocean?
Yeah, first time I ever saw the ocean.
Oh, we didn't see the ocean. We were on the lake that time we were in high school on my uncle's boat.
Yep.
And he clogged his toilet on the boat.
Well, that's another time for whenever I review taking big dumps on boats.
I'm gonna review this very specific topic here. It's gonna take a whole hour and a half to discuss.
But the the beach in Mexico a lot better than Alabama.
I would think so.
So you went to the Grand Canyon Beach.
The Grand Canyon Beach.
And you went to, what'd you say, Caramel?
Caramel Beach.
Caramel Beach.
Cozumel and the Grand Cayman Islands.
So how was that?
I will say the Grand Cayman Beach, much better than Cozumel, Mexico Beach.
Maybe
it was just where we were at, because we were in a big group and half of us went to one it was not really private resort kind of deal, but it was like one of those all-inclusive places.
Okay.
Where I had a pool, and then a little further down I had like a little section of the beach.
Right.
And this was in Cozumel. So the little section of the beach, it was nice. The water wasn't very clear at the section we were at, but it was okay. So we're walking in the sand, and then you go into the ocean part, nothing but rocks.
Ugh.
It looked like, or it felt like, basically a city had flooded, and you're stepping on top of buildings.
Oh shit, you found Atlantis.
That's what it was. I could have just dove down and just grabbed it, tried it, and become Aquaman.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
That's insane.
It was still a lot of fun regardless.
Right.
But it felt like we were at one of those local man-made lakes that they just have a bunch of random floaty, jumpy things on or whatever.
Right.
Still a lot of fun. The beach part was fantastic. The Grand Cayman part, though, is the part that I liked more.
Yeah.
Because the water was very clear. You can literally look down, see your feet, and then see a bunch of little fishes swimming around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can almost kick a fish.
Most beaches.
You could pick up a fish if you wanted to and just toss that up on the beach and they'll cook it for you.
Yeah. you can't see through most beach wire. You ever seen that video that went viral of, I think it was Rihanna? She was in this ocean somewhere, and the water was so clear that she was like dipping mangoes in the water and eating them.
Well, that's just salty mangoes.
And she was like,
You put salt on fruit, honestly.
she was like, this is something you must do before you die. And I'm like, I'm sure I'll have that opportunity.
Dang, I should have got my mangoes.
Yeah, like
I fucked up. I didn't see that Rihanna video.
I'm in the pond in Wingo, Kentucky,
dipping mangoes in your grandpa's pond in the
getting
backyard.
freaking mutations. Shit like
Eat the
that.
mango, you get a third arm.
But yeah, I knew you came back with a big ass rock.
Yeah,
That was cool.
So,
Rocks are cool.
so yeah, that was at the Grand Caymans too. That was all like we just sat and collected rocks.
Well, yeah, you
just
pull all
pick-
the rocks out. That's what makes the canyon.
There's a big canyon, it has a big hole, more room for the water.
Right.
But we're just sitting there because I guess somebody took all the shells because we wanted to get shells, or Grand Cayman is just like banned shells altogether.
Oh, damn.
They said no shells here.
Get those out of here.
Shell no, get out. But so we're just like it's like they're little coral rocks. So
Yes.
baked. I guess they're part of a coral reef somewhere. I don't know how they form, but either way,
Yeah.
heavy as fuck.
That's beyond me.
But somebody picks up this big. He's like, "Oh, if I get a really big rock, are you gonna take it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take the rock. Cool, whatever."
Yeah.
This giant, almost boulder-sized rock, something that you would chalk a wheel with, or if you were gonna murder somebody with a rock, this is the size of rock you
Yeah,
want, right?
this is-
It's
yeah.
a good killing rock.
Lord of the Flies rock.
Lord of the Flies rock. But so he got this rock, and I was like, "How am I gonna get this back on the boat?" I just put it in my backpack. So my backpack's weighed down like 15 pounds. I'm sitting there looking at the sky the whole time because my backpack's on my ankles.
You're going to anchor the boat.
She's like, "Oh, we need to stop the boat. Give me a second. Let me get my backpack real
Just
quick. Toss
jump
it
over the side.
Just hang me out the side
Yeah.
real quick. I'll slow this boat down."
Hook a chain to my ankle.
And then we flew all the way back too. To Nat. So we
Oh,
flew,
that's right.
We flew like the rock was in my suitcase.
That's insane.
I didn't even have to take any clothes out. It was cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you have part of that rock now. I gave you part of that rock.
Yeah, it's on my shelf in my living room, and every morning Wheeler wakes up and goes, "Oh, I see that big rock from Uncle Tyler."
Nice.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool."
That's how I'll be remembered when I die. You're like, "Oh, he gave me a rock once. That's cool."
I'll stand up at your funeral at the podium. I can tell you that he gave me a rock once.
That was it.
Thank you.
We were friends for 50 years, but all he ever did was give me a rock. You like Charlie Brown that up.
Yeah.
Like, I got a rock.
I'm dressed as the ghost from the Charlie Brown movies.
That's how I want to go. Everybody dressed like Charlie Brown at my funeral. Actually, don't. Charlie Brown sucks.
Yeah, no, I hate Charlie Brown.
He's okay.
Another episode.
Different episode.
You know what? Mini ranking, actually.
Mini
Charlie
rank-
Brown, 2 out of 10.
I was going to say it's about 3.
3 out of 10. Okay, so
Because there's some funny parts in there, but most of it's just like, come on, Charlie.
Charlie Brown, 5 out of 20.
All right, you suck.
And that was our mini review.
That was our mini review. Try to work those in.
So, the beach. What are you going to rank it?
I would rate the beach 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, really?
I would love the beach.
Even with the downfalls of jellyfish and
that was your
stingrays and big
experience.
rocks. Okay, well, we got to get you down to Alabama to a real beach.
We get to a man beach. Alabama's man beach country.
you got to experience
The big dogs beach.
Yeah, we
where
don't.
The big dogs play.
The elite 1% aren't experiencing the Alabama.
Like you went to
beach.
those pussy beaches.
Now
White sand.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
All right.
So that's damn close to
That's a
20.
high ranking.
That's an 18 out of 20. Not Hall of Fame worthy.
Not Hall of Fame worthy.
18.
Maybe
out of
Rushmore worthy.
20. Oh yeah.
We'll start different categories out of the 2 things we started so far.
Right. So, good first episode.
Yeah, great first episode.
We're gonna see about maybe recording a second episode here, but I mean,
Not the second episode could be our first episode.
it could be, and not that
Honestly,
not that you
I
would
say
know any
we're-
different.
I say let's
because
record 100 of them and put them all out of
the
order.
release. Oh yeah,
That way people are so confused when they pull it up.
we're going ahead. Actually, next week's gonna be a best of.
Oh,
we're just
Yeah, best of.
we're just gonna do clips from this episode. But yeah, if you like this podcast, or even if you don't, hey, help us get some search engine capabilities, worthiness. I don't know. Give us a review on Spotify or
What are we going to be on?
iTunes. I'm going to try to get us on Spotify, Podcast Addict. I don't know if Apple Podcasts are still a thing. I want to say they're not.
Are they not?
I'm going to try to get us on YouTube, but I'm going to have to put a video component with it, which will probably just be an image. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Eventually we'll get good enough to where we show our faces.
Yeah. Well, no one wants to see that right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, join us next week when the topics are. We don't know what the topics are.
You gotta tune in to find out what the topics are.
We literally sat down and said, "Hey, I'm going to talk about the beach. Oh, okay, I'm going to talk about the mall."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you have ideas, let us know.
Yes.
We might review your review.
Yeah, and yeah, if you leave us a review, we'll read it out on air. I don't care.
I don't care shit. I'll tell all your shit.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in
Tell
there.
me your secrets. I'll let
read
them
it
know.
out. Put your social security number in there.
What's your credit card number?
If you are not a coward.
If you got any balls at all, you will tell me your mother's maiden name and your social security number.
I challenge you to tell me the name of your first pet.
What's the model of your first car?
Yeah. All right. Well, for myself, Drake, this has been Drake.
Sweet, man. And this has been Tyler.
All right. We'll see you next time on The Dudes Review.
Goodbye.